All right, well, it sure is good to see all of you here tonight. We want to thank you for being here. You know, last year, obviously, we missed all of you because of COVID, but we are extremely pleased and very happy to have such a great turnout here tonight. You know, I think a lot of people have said what a great turnout, and that's a tribute to your support of Youngstown State, the athletic department in this valley. So again, thank you for being here this evening. This is the 31st Annual Penguin Club Scholarship Ring Banquet. My name's Rob Schmidt. I'll be your host throughout the course of the evening. Just a reminder, as we always do at this time, would you please turn off your phones to either vibrate or silent so we don't get any bizarre ringtones that you cannot explain to your wife as the night rolls on. All right, once again, we'd like to thank the staff and management here at Mr. Anthony's for their hospitality. If we can have a nice round of applause for them. The Sadies always do a great job. We want to thank them. Sure feels like home when you're back here. Thanks to the Cavelli Enterprises for its continued support of YSU athletics. I know Alan Ryan is here. Nice round of applause for Cavelli Enterprises, a huge supporter of YSU. Also, thanks to our friends at Berkland's Flowers for the beautiful centerpieces. I will not screw this up this year. Just a reminder, you can take the flower with you, but leave the vase. One year I said, take the centerpieces. Everybody took them. Out of my pocket came $500 for vases. Not really. I didn't pay them. University did. All right. With that, we also want to thank KDC Printing. If you have an opportunity to read your program here tonight, read about Joe Corolla, all of our past Penguins, we want to thank KDC for the work on the night's program. Also, thanks to all of those area businesses who have stepped up and placed ads in the program book again this year. We appreciate all the work of LED3 for the large screens to my left and right. Thanks to Greg Roten, straight back from Armstrong, who is recording tonight's banquet and providing the video for you on the screens here this evening. If you enjoy this night, you can watch it again, believe it or not, on Armstrong channels 20, 100. Is that right, Greg? That is correct. If you can't get enough of my big head on the screen, take a look at it at home. In addition, exactly, oh boy. In addition, we have a few other people we want to recognize. First, our Executive Director of Athletics at Youngstown State, Ron Strollo. Ron, where are you? Thank you for all that you do. Also, a special thank you to Associate Athletic Director for the Penguin Club, Jim Morrison, if he would please stand. And if I can have everybody else from the rest of the athletic department here at Youngstown State for all of your work and diligence and love for the university, if you would please stand and get recognized for everything that you do to help our student athletes. One last thing, he probably didn't think I'd remember, but I did. Happy birthday to Tom Barella. If everybody can clap, Tom Barella's birthday is today. 222. Happy birthday, Tom. All right, now there are more than 500 student athletes currently attending Youngstown State University. Many of them are in attendance tonight. You've probably had an opportunity to meet several of them, if not multiple of them. Now, we are not only here to recognize their efforts on the field, on the court, on the track, and in the pool, but in the classroom. And that's really, I think, where President Tressel is most proud of our student athletes. I think our coaches feel the same way. This past fall, all 17 athletic programs at Youngstown State had an overall GPA of 3.1 or higher, with an overall GPA of 3.52. Women's bowling had the highest team GPA of 3.87. Plus, there were 102 student athletes this semester that had a GPA of 4.0. There are 68 students with a cumulative GPA of 4.0 through the fall of 2021. That's truly astounding. Also, 173 student athletes were named to the Horizon League's Academic Honor Roll. Obviously, not all of our student athletes are here, but with those in attendance, please stand for a nice round of applause. Don't be shy. You deserve it. Now, tonight's event not only helps raise money for athletic scholarships, but championship rings for the student athletes. This past year, YSU won the McCafferty Trophy, and if you're wondering what the McCafferty Trophy is, it is an award that is handed out annually by the Horizon League based on points and where you finish in the league's 19 championship sports. And this year, YSU won the McCafferty, primarily because we had 6 teams win a Horizon League championship this past year. Men's indoor track and field, women's indoor track and field. I have to count on my fingers. Men's outdoor track and field, women's outdoor track and field, softball, and women's golf. And I know Coach Kaburski's sitting out there saying, what about the women's bowling team? Well, let's not forget that run to the Final Four that they had this past year. They're being honored tonight. That's a lot of rings. One of the reasons we have this event. So again, all of those honors are well-deserved. Congratulations to the head coaches involved, and Brian Gorby, Brian Campbell, and Doug Kaburski, along with their coaching staffs and all of their student athletes. Please stand if you could. Everybody's shy. All right, our first guest speaker of the night started his term as Youngstown State University's president in 2014. He has been busy moving the campus forward on many fronts ever since. The last 15 months, as he'll tell you, have been very challenging. It's not been an easy time due to the extraordinary challenges of COVID-19, but under his leadership, the university continues to maintain graduation rates, set new fundraising records, while holding down tuition increases, expanding scholarship opportunities, and increasing both university and private housing on campus. It's my honor to introduce to you President Jim Tressel.
Thanks so much, Rob. We take great pride in this event being one that's very efficient, and Rob always has a deadline, and I always give him a little bit of a grade as to how he's doing. You went about 4 minutes too long, Rob, in that introduction. Plus, you took most of the material that I had to talk about the great student athletes and their academic GPAs and so forth, and thank all of the folks. But if you think back to 1990, I think maybe it was the winter of 91, when we had our first ring dinner, and to think this is the 31st time that this banquet hall is full of folks who care about Youngstown State University, that appreciate what our student athletes do, appreciate what our coaches, our athletics staff, all of the things that they do to make a difference in the Valley. It's really, I was talking with Provost Smith down here today, and he said, I'm not sure I've seen as impressive a banquet in my life as this. And this is the 31st straight year. Just out of curiosity, how many of you out there were at the first one? Okay, some guys as old as I am. Okay. So the next question is, and this is the one you're really a star, and we're going to clap for you. Stand up if you've been to every single one of the 31. Is there anybody out there? There's one. Yeah. 2, 3. Look at that. Huh? Haynes's. Look at that. So we've picked your pocket pretty good for 31 years. You haven't even noticed. But we're so fortunate with the athletic department leadership we have here. You can tell how proud we are of our student athletes. That's why this is really the best banquet of the year, when all of you who are behind us and support us and give us your time and treasures, and you get a chance to meet our outstanding student athletes, and it really is one of the special evenings. I have a couple dignitaries that I need to introduce here, or that I want to introduce. So if you'll hold your applause till I get through a handful of them here. The chairman of our YSU Board of Trustees, Dr. Jack Jacobek. We have the vice chair of our board, Chuck George, is back over there. We have Alan Ryan over here, who was already double duty there, recognized being with the Covelli Enterprises, that has been a sponsor for so many years. And then, of course, our honoree, who I won't take the time to sing his praises and roast him and so forth, because I think Paul McFadden is going to do a good job of that. But we're so fortunate to have an amazing board of trustees. The time that they spend is amazing. The guidance and the counsel that they give us, how much they care about this university in this region, in this valley, is amazing. We have one of our former trustees, at least one, and the only reason I know there's at least one is he's got the brightest red jacket in the place. Dave Dybel is out there somewhere. So are there any other former board of trustees? Is Scott here? Where's Scott? How about a hand for Scott and the rest of the group we introduced? We're so fortunate as we think about having the opportunity to have Youngstown State University provide great academic opportunities, future careers for our students. But really, sometimes it goes unnoticed that the single most important, largest funder of Youngstown State University is our federal government. And we're just fortunate here today that we have U.S. Congressman Bill Johnson here. And Bill, if you'd stand up and take a bow somewhere, he's back there. There he is. And he's really not here necessarily as our congressman. He's here because his nephew is playing baseball for Coach Bertolini. And we're trying to recruit another member of the Johnson family to play here. I'm not allowed to say who. It might be a violation. But anyway, we appreciate so much what our federal government, our state government, if you look around campus, as Rob mentioned, we've been fortunate to have transformative things happen. Alan's brother Tim and Senator Portman and Mike Ruley and all those people stepping up to help us have our roads look the way that they look now, to have our Excellence Training Center built, to have all of our new facilities. None of that would be done without the support of our federal and state governments, and we really appreciate that. Because it's the Ring Scholarship Banquet, and Rob talked about the excellence of our students, I thought it would be fitting if all of you would have a chance to meet our provost if you haven't met him yet. So if you could give a hand to our provost, Dr. Brian Smith, and his wife Sherry. Stand up and take a bow. And then we really thought it would be fun. Our honors college has grown from 300 honors students 6 or 7 years ago to about 1,250 honors students now. And 59 of our student athletes have the double duty of being in a Division I varsity athletic schedule and also be in an honors college curriculum that's a little step above. And so we thought it would be fun for all of you this evening to meet the Dean of our Honors College. Please put your hands together for Dean Amy Cosentino. Again, on behalf of the entire Youngstown State University family, thanks to all of you, thanks to our coaches, thanks to our athletic staff who have had to go through safety protocols beyond your wildest dreams the last 2 years and gone and turned out championship teams and scholars in the classroom. No one could be more proud of our athletics department than all of you seated here and myself as well. Enjoy the evening, get to know our students. Joe Corolla, congratulations, you're the best. Thank you.
I still don't know how he does that without any notes. I just have no idea. Short, you're going shorter? No, you're not. I don't know, your memory is unbelievable. Thank you. Well, a lot of people forget that, and with good reason. All right, now, as many of you know, the Penguin Club and its members are a vital resource for the athletic department here at Youngstown State. They help our teams compete at the highest level, and their support of events like tonight is imperative for our continued success. While most of you are already members, if you're not a member of the Penguin Club, we're going to bring up the president of the Penguin Club to tell you why you should be a member. Would you please welcome Rick Frida to tell you more importance about being a member.
So they gave me 20 minutes, and I think I got it cut down to about 4. So, good evening. Welcome to the 31st Annual YSU Penguin Club Scholarship Ring Banquet. I promise I'm going to keep my remarks short. The Penguin Club was founded in 1974 and has grown both in membership and events since. The Penguin Club supports YSU's 21 collegiate sports and over 500 student athletes. YSU Athletics generates dollars for our communities by bringing people from many areas, potential students and their families, to the campus for sporting events and youth camps. YSU Athletics impacts our community in many ways. I look around the room and see many of you who are part of the Valley's business community. I encourage all of you to consider hiring a YSU student athlete to be a part of your organization. Our student athletes have learned to be a part of a team. They have excellent time management skills and an unparalleled work ethic. Most important, our student athletes are dedicated and resilient. They get knocked down and they get right back up. It's just the Youngstown way. I speak from personal experience by being able to work with a few former YSU student athletes. Hunter Wells, a 2017 YSU graduate and a former quarterback that took our team to the 2016 FCS National Championship, was part of our sales team for 2 years until he moved away to pursue other opportunities. I'd take him back in a minute. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Brad Smith, our COO, who played baseball for YSU and graduated in 2015 with a degree in accounting. We're also proud to have Evan Standahar, a 2019 graduate from YSU and a part of the YSU golf team, as part of our sales team. All three are disciplined, focused, exhibit attention to detail and a tenacity to serve their customers. I have to give credit not only to their family upbringing, but to YSU Athletics. Our athletes are disciplined, well-rounded, and leave YSU with valuable life skills and a first-rate education. At this time, I would like to ask Penguin Club board members to please stand to be recognized for your board participation and contribution to YSU Athletics. Please stand. Let's give these committed ladies and gentlemen a round of applause. Thank you. This past year, the Penguin Club has hosted several fundraising events: the State Farm Scholarship Golf Outing, the Hollywood Gaming Jamboree Reverse Raffle and Auction, the YSU Alumni Golf Outing, which is open to everyone, the Bridge Builders and Football Alumni Tailgate Blast for all of our former student athletes. In the last year, the Penguin Club donated over $117,000 to Stambaugh Stadium for their sound system project, has pledged $200,000 over the next 4 years for the Beagley Center Karandovich Training Facility and the Stambaugh Stadium Tobacco Family Classroom, a theater-style classroom holding 150 seats. The Penguin Club contributes over $40,000 annually to the athletic department so they can update technology such as computers, servers, and video equipment for the benefit of our athletic staff and student athletes. The Penguin Club also supports each team's season-ending banquet. The Penguin Club Scholarship Endowment currently exceeds $1.4 million. 88 student athletes received scholarships totaling $88,500 over the past 3 years. That's significant. Please mark your calendars for the upcoming Penguin Club events. April 25th is the YSU World Penguin Day. That event ends, the campaign ends that day. April 27th, the Scholar Athlete Award Banquet will be held at the Kilcawley Center's Chestnut Room. And June 15th, the State Farm Penguin Club Scholarship Golf Outing, and there's more information on page 57 of your programs. Now, knowing how much the university, and especially the Penguin Club, meant to a man I miss dearly, Mr. Clarence Smith, I'm humbled to stand here before you. It is my honor also to congratulate Mr. Joe Carolla for the Penguin of the Year. Our Comco family also gives you a shout out as a business partner, a former Penguin Board Club member, and a current YSU trustee. I conclude by thanking President Tressel for his vision and leadership, Ron Strollo and the entire athletic staff, Mr. Jim Morrison for keeping me straight, and each of you for taking time to be here to honor our athletes, staff, and volunteers. We are grateful to each of you for your continued support of Youngstown State Athletics and the Penguin Club. Go Gwins.
Thank you, Rick. All of our coaches work very diligently to provide the student athletes with the best possible experience they can have here at Youngstown State. Many of them will leave here and remain friends with those coaches as they have built successful programs and, more importantly, successful young adults moving into the workplace. Now, those coaches in attendance here tonight, would you please stand and be recognized for all the hard work that you do and the time and effort that you do to molding those student athletes into fine young adults, please. I know our coaches are here. I see Coach Phillips. I know Coach Schrum is back there. All right, thank you. Now, speaking of coaches, this Boardman native laced up his track shoes and put on his Penguins jersey for the first time in 1987. Now entering his 35th season as a member of the Youngstown State track and field program and its head coach in his 26th year. Our next speaker has built one of the elite programs in the country. His teams have dominated the Horizon League, winning 35 track and field titles. Since 2013, the Penguins have been on an incredible run. The women have won 7 outdoor titles, 7 indoor titles, and 2 cross-country titles. The men have won 5 outdoor titles, 6 indoor crowns, and a cross-country title in 2018. He has produced 15 All-Americans, 27 national qualifiers, and 88 NCAA regional qualifiers. He's also won a staggering 39 Coach of the Year awards. Off the track, 210 student athletes have garnered academic all-league laurels. It's truly outstanding what his teams have been able to accomplish on the track and off. We are happy to have him here tonight. Would you please welcome Brian Gorby.
I've got my again notes here. I don't know how President Tress does it either, but again, pretty much just wanted to say we love talking about our student athletes, and I've had probably a lot of people know me that how much we love talking about them. That we're going to have. I know Coach Ken Strollo said she's going to be throwing some rolls if we go too long here, so we're going to try to keep this quick. Had a couple people tell us about the Gettysburg Address that again the first guy talked for 2 hours and the second guy talked for 2 minutes, and that second guy was Abe Lincoln, so they only remember Abe Lincoln. So we want to be that second guy. So again, pretty much in regard to again one of as President Tressel kind of talked about, we've been here for every one of these. We use this in our recruiting, again, when we're recruiting recruits. Great to have our athletes out with the community. That doesn't happen in very many other places. Talk to lots of coaches. So just appreciate that in regard to, of course, having this opportunity. Just all the folks, I've been here for all of them. Naturally, you get Ed O'Neill, of course, again, Roselli, Tressel, McFadden, Wilkins, Lyden family, Dowell family. We could go down the line, all 25 of them, every one of them. We take those books home and stuff. Again, I don't know, maybe most people don't keep them, but that means a lot to us and stuff in regard to the history of this event. Pretty much, again, I just wanted to say thanks so much, of course, for all you Penguins of the year. Pretty much those are the folks that blaze the trail to where we're at and what we can do. Guest of honor, of course, Joe Carolla, again, behind the scenes, everything he's done. Looking forward to hearing from him. And, of course, again, a well-deserved honor with everything he's done with our, our YSU family here and stuff. I want to thank all the area businesses, again, in regard to this banquet for the last 30 years. Fantastic food, but, again, also the finances that help get, of course, you heard about all those kind of results, but to get those results, you need Power 5 opportunities and stuff. And to get those Power 5 opportunities, you got to get folks to Clemson, Florida State, Texas. Again, I'm going to go down here in a minute with some of our folks, but again, those championship rings that come in, again, they cost money. And of course, thank you all for all that. Again, we've got 47 championship rings. We kind of figure somewhere between 4,400 rings are out there, of course, with some proud Penguins and stuff. So something, again, we're extremely proud of. And, of course, it wouldn't be happening, of course, if it wasn't for everybody in this room. Want to recognize this year's 2021, the softball team, Coach Campbell. Again, pretty much the women's golf team, Coach Nate. And, of course, again, our bowling team, and, of course, a wonderful track and field staff. Really, our track and field staff, it's definitely, of course, each coach is an event coach and pretty much a head coach in their own event area and stuff, and we'll hit that in a second. So I want to thank Mr. Morrison and, of course, Tom Barella, Austin Snodgrass, Dave Hinkle, again, Tom Herod, Trent Taylor, and all the, of course, Penguin Club folks. Again, get a chance to meet them and work with them. I want to thank President Tressel for literally everything and stuff, and I know we we have to. Again, pretty much, Coach Phillips and I were again back in 1994 in a broom closet together in Stanbar our first year. Again, and of course, most track coaches start in broom closets. Most never get out of the broom closet and stuff. But basically, again, ourselves, about 20 championships in, we got out of that broom closet. But again, we couldn't have been more blessed to be in that broom closet, because in that broom closet over those 6 to 8 years, again, Coach Phillips probably would echo this, but we watched Coach Tressel, Haycock, Canaster, 4-time national championship staff, again, 24/7, putting 80-hour weeks in, pretty much. And then basically, Coach Canaster had a bed in the office, no cell phones at that time, recruiting nonstop. It was a learning experience that was so valued. And then pretty much naturally, of course, it always seemed like the ball seemed to bounce, again, that staff's way. But basically, with 80 hours of plus of work, high energy championship staff, all we had to do is mirror that on our end, and we're going to continue to build what they did, of course, in the football arena, in the track and field arena, and that's exactly what we've done over the last 30 years. So I thank him for everything he's done. Also, he brought a little blueprint of a little 200-meter back in 95, 96, 200-meter indoor track, and of course, he was always do more with less, and of course, what we always, of course, focused on was do more with less back in that day. Again, we knew when he got to Ohio State, you give a person that does more with less and you give them more, it's going to be over. And that's exactly what he did. And basically, again, he ended up fast-forwarding it 20 years later, gave us the Watts, along with Ron Strollo, who has, of course, done everything in his power to give this program. And, of course, all these programs are an opportunity for success. Nicole Canstrollo, and, of course, our entire, of course, again, administration and stuff, gave us the Watson and Tressel indoor facility and tennis facility. That place, of course, top 25 facility in the country. We're not getting Power 5 athletes in here without that. So first and foremost, thank everybody, those folks, for everything they did. Perfect 70-degree temps. And, of course, again, just this past weekend, I think we had 6 or 7 U.S. #1 distance, sprints, throws, high school performances in the nation. Teams are skipping past Kentucky, LSU to come to YSU to run. Again, we had, I think, 2,000 entries and almost 4,000 spectators. So, again, just awesome, again, to have a facility like that. And all our coaches are kind of used to that. They don't realize that we were sticking pole-vault, boxes into, of course, President Tressel, Coach Tressel's, again, locker room. And just, of course, just trying to manufacturing things the first 5-10 years to try to win championships and stuff. Again, but now, of course, we have something like that. Again, of course, do more with less, do more with more, and of course, it comes from this whole entire community doing that. So just wanted to thank you there again. Want to, of course, congratulate all those teams again, softball, women's golf. Again, women's basketball, again, Coach Barnes is the best. Again, he's killing it. Men's basketball, Coach Calhoun's got it rolling and stuff. Women's tennis and men's tennis, both of those top 2. Men's baseball, top 3. Again, women's bowling, of course, Final 4. What can you say about that? Again, pretty much best of the best. And then, of course, all the other programs, swimming, lacrosse, soccer, men's golf, all pushing positives, and that's how we've been from day one. That's how all our sports are here in regard to that. So just want to, of course, again, say congratulations to those people. Again, it takes a lot of energy. Compliance folks, Rebecca Fink, Tyler Burke, Tyler Batil, again, and of course, baby Mattel, he was just born a couple days ago and stuff. So appreciate, again, pretty cool there in regard to, of course, Tyler. And then they're just trying to keep these 100 coaches, again, pretty much 500 athletes and 100 coaches going the right direction and stuff. So basically, the one to McCafferty this year, which is pretty cool. The key is we want to, of course, do that every year, the new norm. Basically, that's the way we are with our standard. As Rob mentioned, again, pretty much 7, 8, 9 in a row. That's got to be the standard and stuff, and that's been the standard for the program, and it's the expectation and stuff. So, of course, that standard comes nothing from, of course, myself or any of our staff. We don't score a point. It comes from, of course, we've invited, of course, 18 folks to the banquet tonight. They were track and field, and again, they're going after, of course, their 7th, 8th in a row, 48th out of 49 championships and stuff, and again, pretty much, again, that's kind of the standard. That's kind of what we're looking at. But we don't score a point. These are the folks that do, and I just want to hit it quickly. Again, I know, of course, I'll get some rolls thrown at me pretty soon, so I got about another minute or two here. Sean Peterson, again, basically just beat the national champion, Wesley Kiptoo, of course, 2 weekends ago at Notre Dame. Just phenomenal. He beat the #1 guy in the nation. Again, that's just, to come from YSU to do something that is impressive. Chase Easterling, again, won Horizon League, made the national championships last year. Again, Ryan Meadows, Horizon League 5K champ. Ryan Wyatt Lefker, pretty much Horizon pole vault national, again, top pole vault champion. Was at now, again, basically nationals last year. We came from putting a pole vault box in the box to one of the top 20 in the nation and stuff. Again, Tony Woods opened up #1 in the world. Coach Townsend, of course, had #1 in the world, opening up 6'5", 7'60". Zach M won the national title in the U20, again, discus. Again, Lonnie Harper, high jump champ. Don Perry, shot put champ. Zach Ray, freshman of the year. Noah Drudy, javelin champ. Aaron Bogard, pretty much, again, pole vault national qualifier, top 25 in the U.S. Again, Janiyah Bowers right now just opened up and just as, again, went 7.25, again, 7.25 a couple weeks ago, hoping to go a little lower. She's 15th in the country. The only other teams ahead of her are Clemson, again, Texas, Arkansas, Power 5. So that shows you, of course, what that young lady's doing. Again, Morgan Cole, of course, Horizon League runner-up. Kaylin Griffey, again, Horizon League runner-up. Sue, again, pretty much is again, Horizon League runner-up. Olivia Jones champion. Kendia Matlock champion. And Madison Murray champion. All of those folks pretty much are either champions or runner-ups in the conference. And that's, of course, 18 folks. So credit goes to them. Then that credit, of course, goes to our staff. Megan Tomei, she's coached national champions and stuff. She could probably be anywhere in the country coaching. We're so blessed to have her and stuff. Coach Roop, of course, again, got YSU ahead of Ohio State all fall long. Pretty much just an awesome accomplishment. Top recruiting class in Ohio 3 years in a row for distance and cross country. So something, of course, I know, again, our president and, of course, our athletic director are like, let's get that distance side up. Okay, pretty much, again, he took that and, of course, went with it. Coach Bree, of course, is doing the same thing. Coach Keith, of course, is helping out there as well. So, again, I know I've got too much time left, but basically, Coach Townsend, what can we say? He's got a #1 in the world, again, Chaz Allo, and he's also got basically, of course, Tony Woods and Janai and stuff that right now, of course, have all been top 25. So Coach Morales has the top, again, one of the top high jumpers in the country. He's a freshman, and, of course, another top in the freshmen. So, again, Dean Kent Strollo, of course, just love her to death. She's done everything for this program. Again, probably a part of the reason we're here, of course, to kind of tell about all these great folks that we do. So want to thank our administration, our academic staff, Jason Spencer, Marty Hyde, and Rebecca King, Taylor Blandine. Those folks are the reason, of course, it's 3.5, 3.6, 3.7 GPAs, an amazing accomplishment, straight A's. So, and, of course, thanks to our support staff, Trevor Parks, Jamie Hall, John Vogel, Tucker Quinn, and, of course, again, Alvy and Tim in regard to the equipment room and stuff. In closing, again, pretty much work ethic, high energy. That's what we've been about. That's what we're always going to be about, push the positives. And, of course, we got to do it with everybody together. So, again, hopefully, of course, good luck this weekend, everybody competing. But basically, let's keep climbing. Let's make winning championships in McCafferty the new normal. And, of course, I'm sure Coach and that football staff's going to do the same thing. So, other than that, go Penguins.
You got a standing O from Patrick Bergen, Coach. Right? I'm glad you went, because I was going to but didn't want to upset you. That's awesome. No one has more passion, except for maybe President Tressel, about Youngstown State Athletics than Coach Gorby. And we want to wish him all the best this weekend. The men's and women's track and field teams are competing in the Horizon League Indoor Championships this weekend in the Watt. So best of luck to our men's and women's indoor track and field athletes this weekend. All right, now there is a wide range as you may guess, of different social and ethnic backgrounds when you work with over 500 student athletes. They are participating here at Youngstown State. In fact, there are more than 50 international student athletes representing 26 countries on 13 of the 22 teams. If you would now please turn your attention to the video screens, several of them have come together to express their feelings about life at Youngstown State.
First impression, it was a lot colder than back home, that's for sure. I think the campus is beautiful, especially around the winter time. So yeah, I was definitely pleased by the aesthetics of the place for sure.
It was definitely a lot bigger than home. All the big athletic facilities are very different. We don't quite have that, so being an athlete, you get treated in a more special way than you would if you were staying at home. So that was definitely the first impression. Then obviously the food's probably the next thing for me. It was very, very different coming here.
My first impression of YSU was the campus because it's huge, and back at home we don't have campus like this.
I have an agent who contact the coach for YSU, and we talked a bit. We had some calls, and I don't know. I talked to my teammates. So I talked to Asia, David, Will, and I really like it. They were very fun, and I felt like it was a good place to be. So I came here.
So Coach flew to Thailand for a U.S. camp. Like they brought all the golf coaches to see the player in Thailand, and I don't know, for some reason he picked me out because of my pants. I wear a red pant and like it's really stand out. So we keep contacting each other back then, and now he decided to take me, so cool, go with it.
So my favorite part about YSU would probably be the tennis facility. Before I came here, it was still like building up, and I was really excited because we get to train indoors. Because when I first came, we had to travel about 10 minutes to Boardman to play at an indoor facility during the winter. But now YSU has their own indoor facility, and it's great to be just practicing at home.
I really like how green the campus is, like the nature. I like walking around on campus. Yeah, it's just really nice.
Obviously my family and the food my mom makes, but apart from that, maybe the sun.
Definitely tacos. I will always go Taco Tuesday home, which I miss Taco Tuesday.
How many of you miss the sun? Right? I mean, yesterday we saw plenty of it, so I thought, hey, this is going to be one of the first ring banquets that we haven't had an avalanche of snow. Instead, we get a monsoon, and we have flooding everywhere, but we still saw the sun yesterday. But again, you can see, what this university means to those student athletes, and, how far this university has come with facilities and the opportunity to really give these kids a first-class opportunity in their collegiate life. And really, we've talked about this. One of the best parts of this night is having our community, our Penguin family, meet the student athletes and get to know them a little bit more than just a number on a jersey. And one of the best parts about this evening is hearing from a couple of those student athletes, and that is the case here tonight. Our first student athlete is a pitcher on the YSU softball team. She enters the season fourth all-time at YSU with 42 victories and second all-time in career strikeouts with 520. Last season, she compiled a record of 20-4 with an ERA of 2.16 and became the first player in school history to record 20 wins and 200 strikeouts in the same season. She also helped lead the Penguins to the Horizon League regular season championship with an overall record of 36-15. For her efforts, she was named the Horizon League's Pitcher of the Year and placed on the All-Horizon League first team. It is my pleasure to welcome Ellie Buffenberger.
Hi, it is an extreme honor to be chosen to speak tonight. I've been to the ring banquet a couple times, and when Coach Campbell asked me if I was interested in speaking, I was like, are you sure? I thought he was definitely messing with me. I would like to first start by thanking the Penguin Club and everyone that supports YSU and YSU athletics. I would also like to thank my parents who were able to make it tonight and for always believing in me, for coming to all my games, and for pushing me to be the best version of myself. I would also like to congratulate Joe Carolla on being selected for Penguin of the Year and Colton McFadden on representing the YSU male athletes. So, my name is Ellie Buffenberger. I'm a fifth-year senior on the YSU softball team. Growing up, my parents put me in a lot of different sports. Soccer was terrible. I had no concept of the game, and I just chased the ball around. Gymnastics was terrifying, and I couldn't even do a cartwheel. I think both of my parents cried tears of joy when I decided cheer and dance weren't for me. After many years of trying different sports, I finally found my love for softball. I was never the best player on the team, but I enjoyed working hard and playing the games. When I was 11 years old, my coach pulled me aside and asked me if I wanted to pitch the next game. And even though I had never pitched a day in my life, of course I said yes. I remember the entire first game, I did not throw one strike. Literally, not one strike. I didn't care because now I had something else to work on. My dad was coaching my brother at the time, so my mom started driving me to weekly pitching lessons. Looking back, she would definitely tell you they were the biggest waste of time and money because she was there when I learned to drop ball, and I don't know if you know anything about pitching, but that is no fun for the catcher. But the game that truly changed everything for me came when I was 12 years old. We played a team that was supposed to be so much better than us, and my coach put me into pitch because he knew we had no chance of winning. I took that unspoken challenge and I ran with it. We ended up winning the game, and it was all because of all the hard work I put in with that drop ball, so thanks, Mom. From then on, I knew I wanted to pitch for as long as possible. I faced adversity again my freshman year of high school when I got placed on JV. I was devastated because all of my summer teammates and all my friends got placed on varsity. Once again, I began to question all of the hard work I was putting into softball. I took that freshman year and I worked my butt off, and I went to speed agility training more, I started working on other pitches, and most importantly, I kept up my positive attitude and focused on what I could control. The middle of sophomore year, my high school coaches had me and one other pitcher competing for the starting position on varsity. If that wasn't scary enough, we were getting ready to play our high school rival. The other pitcher got the start of the game, and in the top of the first, we were down 4-0 with no outs and the bases loaded. They told me, Ellie, you're going in. And I said, okay, I got this. I threw one pitch, and the worst possible thing happened. I gave up a grand slam. So now our team was down 8-0 with no outs in the bottom of the first. Could you imagine a worse start to a game? We got out of that inning. I came in, and I did my typical thing. I was like, my bad. That's on me. I tried to hype the team back up, and I said, you know what? We got this game. We're coming back, and we're winning. Slowly but surely, we made it what we thought was impossible possible. We ended up winning the game 11-10 in 7 innings. After that, I had officially won the starting spot on my high school team. I continued to work hard, but eventually life had other plans for me the winter of my senior year of high school. I just got home from playing softball in Europe, and the doctor told me I had masses on my thyroid and told me if I wanted to play my senior year, I needed surgery in a month. My best option was to get my whole thyroid removed, and that's what I did. Finding out you had cancer at 17 is very scary, even if looking back now, it was a relatively easy process. The surgery came in February of 2017. I had a lot of people praying for me to make a fast recovery. The surgery was successful, and there was nothing cancerous left behind, and actually yesterday marked 5 years cancer-free. Thank you. The day after my surgery, I went right to softball practice. I didn't want any days off. Even though I was not allowed to do anything and I could barely move, I went to support my team. While there was a lot of people that doubted if I would come back and do well that season, I had the best support system. Other teams and rivals in our conference sent flowers, they came to visit me, sent texts, tweeted at me to show their love and support. The thoughts and prayers made me work even harder, and it eventually paid off because I got to play my whole senior year. Coach Campbell emailed me the summer before my senior year. I was really struggling to find the right fit in a college for me, And so I came to YSU for a visit, and he was very straightforward, or as Campbell likes to say, he was very blunt with me about what he liked about me as a player and a person. The Watts, the locker room, the on-campus field, and the campus life made my decision very easy. The choice was reinforced again fall of my senior year when we made a trip up to YSU for a fall game. The game got rained out, but since my family and I were up here, Campbell said, "Why don't you stop by practice and we'll chat for a little bit." While we were talking to Coach Campbell and Coach D, President Tressel, who my parents are a very big fan of, walked in and took the time out of his day to greet me and my parents. After we walked out of the Watts, my parents high-fived each other very dramatically and turned to me and said, "You're coming here no matter what." 30 seconds later, I got a text from Coach Campbell saying, "I saw that high five," which my parents and I thought was hysterical. I feel like I blinked and it was time to move into the dorms. I was absolutely terrified. I was 4 hours away from home in a whole new situation, but that first night, 2 teammates picked me up from the dorms and made me feel welcome, and I haven't looked back since. Being a part of a team helps form relationships for life and helps make campus a little less intimidating when you're a freshman. I had amazing teammates like Lexi Roach and Stevie Taylor to help me guide me my freshman year, and they were great role models and still are for me to aspire to be like. Over the years, I have been fortunate enough to play with some of my best friends, including people that should be my competition, because year after year, the pitchers and catchers have continued to be some of my best friends, which makes playing and practicing even more fun. I would also like to give a big thank you to Coach Campbell and Coach G for believing in me, being constant supporters in my life, and for giving me the opportunity to represent YSU. Many of my friends that have played at other schools have had multiple coaches, and some even have had different coaches every year. I can't say how much it means to me that YSU has created an environment where the coaches want to stick around and truly build the program to be the best that it could be. I'm so grateful to be a part of this team and the opportunities it has given me. Last year, it was so special to be a part of the regular season championship team and have the honor of wearing this ring. The game we clinched the title of regular season champions was one of the most exciting games I've been a part of, even maybe more than that crazy game. We had a Hawaiian theme in the dugout, so we were all wearing leis, grass skirts, and goofy glasses. We were tied 1-1 going into the bottom of the 8th inning, and Avery, who's here tonight, hit a 2-run walk-off home run to win, and we became regular season champions for the first time since 2006. Thank you. We then got to stand on the field and sing along to We Are the Champions, which was really a special moment for us. This year, we plan on finishing the job and winning the conference tournament. Once again, thank you for this amazing opportunity to speak in front of all of you. It's truly an honor to be here, and I am forever grateful for the opportunities that this university has given me. Thank you, and as always, go Gwins.
Very well done, Ellie. Thank you. Continued success to you this season. In fact, she's currently 3-2 on the campaign, already has 43 strikeouts. The YSU softball team is in Virginia this weekend to play in the Hampton University tournament. Our next student athlete was named honorable mention All-Missouri Valley Football Conference as a place kicker and was also placed on the Valley's all-academic team this past fall. He showed great accuracy, connecting on 8 of 9 field goals and 29 of 30 PAT attempts. He has started all 29 games since coming to Youngstown State and has continued a family legacy for the Penguins. His brother Connor kicked for the Penguins from 2013 through 16, and his father Paul is one of the most decorated Penguins to ever play at YSU and later in the NFL. His mother Diane was a standout on the women's basketball team and later an assistant coach for the Penguins. A recipient of the Bob Dove and Simmerling Family Scholarships, please say hello to Colt McFadden.
Good evening. I'd like to first start out and thank everyone that has made this a great event possible, to our Penguin Club, all of its members, everyone behind the scenes here tonight. Thank you all for making tonight special. It is truly a tremendous honor to have this opportunity tonight. I'd like to congratulate our 2022 Penguin of the Year, Joe Corolla. Thank you for your support to Youngstown State University, to the Mahoning Valley. Your impact will be felt for many years to come. And on behalf of all YSU student athletes, we would like to thank all of the donors, the boosters, the generous supporters here tonight. You have all made a direct impact on each and every one of our lives. You've given us the opportunity to receive an education from a great university. You gave us the ability to live out our lifelong dreams of becoming collegiate student athletes. And we truly cannot thank each and every one of you enough. But we are here tonight to celebrate some of the accomplishments our athletic teams have done over the past year. I would personally like to congratulate both the men's and women's track and field team, the women's softball team, and the women's golf team for their championship performances last season. You guys made us all very proud. Way to go. Tonight I've been asked to briefly share a little bit about my journey, my background, where I've come from, and how I ended up at this podium this evening. I am born and raised here in the Valley. I grew up in Poland, Ohio. My dad, obviously, Paul, will be speaking here shortly, and my mom, Diane Costco, are both former YSU student athletes. They are both inducted into the YSU Athletics Hall of Fame, and I think it's fair to say that my brother and I had some large shoes to fill when we decided to follow in their footsteps here to Youngstown State. But I'm so fortunate to have both my parents in my life. They've loved and supported me from the very beginning. They've instilled discipline and hard work within me. I truly wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for both of them. Mom, Dad, I love you both so much. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are the best. I graduated from Poland in 2017. I'm very grateful for my time there. I had so many great teachers, great coaches, made so many lifelong friendships. Following my time at Poland, I decided to break the family mold. I chose to kind of create my own path and decided to play football at Kent State University. I was a Golden Flash for 2 years before I had the opportunity of a lifetime approach me. And that opportunity to return home, to become a Youngstown State Penguin and join our football team here at YSU. And looking back on that day, I can truly say it was the greatest decision I've ever made. I'll never forget the look on my dad's eyes when I told him I wanted to come home, I wanted to follow in his footsteps and become a member of our football team here. I could tell how excited he was, and I cannot begin to tell you how excited I was. But ever since that day, my journey, my career has been nothing but special. And it is all thanks to the amazing individuals that we have working within our athletic department here at YSU. Everyone from the compliance staff, the academic support staff, the athletic training staff. Because of all their efforts, the resources they provide us, the doors they open for us student athletes, I have not only been able to find success on the field, but I've been able to earn my undergraduate degree in business, my master's degree in business, and with 1 year remaining working towards completing a second master's degree. I truly never thought I'd make it this far, and it is a testament to all those individuals. We cannot thank all of you enough. Being a student athlete here at YSU is about representing something bigger than yourself. It's about honoring all those that have come before you, those that have paved the way, that have set the bar so high, and ultimately upholding the strong legacy of Youngstown State University. In closing tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of those individuals that have made such a profound impact on my life and on my career. And first and foremost, our head football coach, Doug Phillips. Coach, thank you for always asking the very best out of me, for always challenging me to not only become a better football player, but a better person. And thank you for always believing in me, Coach. Really appreciate that. Next, my longtime coach, mentor, role model, former YSU Penguin NFL alumni, Jeff Wilkins. Wilkes, thank you for being here tonight. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all the time and effort you've put into not only making me a better kicker, but a better person. I really cannot tell you how much I appreciate everything you've done for me. And when I look out in this room tonight at all these amazing individuals, organizations, people that have been so kind to give back to this university and give someone like me such an amazing opportunity, it truly makes me so proud to represent Youngstown State University, so proud to say I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. I cannot thank all of you enough for being here tonight. This has been an honor. Thank you.
Well done. Nice, Colt. It's easy to see why that's one of the favorite parts of this program. Both of them speak from the heart. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Colt. Just a reminder, though, that the YSU football team plays its red-white game this spring on Saturday, April 23rd at 11 a.m., so mark that on your calendars as head coach Doug Phillips gets back on the field. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of other students here, not maybe necessarily student athletes, but a couple of other students who give of their time for the Youngstown State Athletic Department. The recipient of this year's Chuck Perizich Scholarship is Tucker Quinn. Tucker, is he over there? There he is. There's Tucker in the back. Now, this award is given to students who assist the Athletic Communications Department in honor of the Vindicator's longtime editor, Chuck Perizich. Now, the recipient of this year's Bruce Bird Scholarship is Walker Knight. I know he is not here. This annually goes to a student who assists us in the Athletic Marketing Department at YSU. All right, moving on. Before we honor our 2022 Penguin of the Year, I'd like to recognize the past Penguins of the Year who are in attendance here tonight. If you would please stand when I announce your name. Our most recent recipients, Dave Collins, the Collins family, and Diamond Steele. Dave Dybel, Dennis and Janet Haynes, the Hively family, the Leiden family. Now, Dr. Darrell and Vicki Mincy are not here. Dr. Mincy just had back surgery, is recovering, so we wish him all the best. I know he would be here if he could. Ed Reese, past president, past Penguin. Reed and Judy Schmutz. President Jim Tressel. Jeff Wilkins. And YSU football alumni. Those of you a member of that group, please stand. All right, thank you. It is now my honor to introduce yet another past Penguin. He has a tough act to follow, though, considering his son may have finally one-upped him. We knew when Colt gave that speech it was going to be good. Apple didn't fall far from the tree. But here to introduce to you the 2022 Penguin of the Year is the former Penguins kicker, who is now president of the YSU Foundation, Paul McFadden.
Joe, I think next year we should have Coach Gorby introduce the recipient, because it would take about 5 seconds. And he would cover a lot more material than I have. The night got off to a great start when I walked in. Coach Molinari congratulated me because my grandson was on the program this evening. So thanks, Coach. It is a great honor to introduce Joe. I've known Joe since the early 1990s, when Mr. Melmisser and I used to go out. Mr. Melmisser would take me along to PI&I Motor Express to ask your father for gifts for the Penguin Club. And Joe was there. He was already working for the company. He had a desk right in front of Dad's. You know, there's really two aspects in life that define us most. It's our family, and it's our work. In Joe Corolla's world, those two are very, very closely affiliated. The Corolla family story in PI&I Motor Express starts in 1951 when his grandpa started the company in Masery, Ohio. If you open the program, right inside the cover, there's a photo of a tractor trailer with a flat bed. That's what PI&I Express is, primarily for the steel industry they haul. Joe's grandpa founded it. He ran it for 5 years. Joe remembers grandpa as a big guy sitting in a chair smoking cigars. Unfortunately, Grandpa passed when Joe was 5. His father, John, took over the company. And at 12 years old, a few years later, young Joe started working at PI&I, sweeping floors, doing some general maintenance, driving a forklift. At 14 years old, he started moving tractor trailers around the grounds as part of his job at PI&I. At 14, he was driving a semi-truck. Now, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but he's done every job at the company, including he drove for a while. He's driven tractor trailers to Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and to this day, to stay close to his roots, he drives at least once a year. This fall, he drove a tractor trailer to Canton and back with a load of steel. Joe started attending YSU in the early 1980s and started working full-time at PI&I. And his desk was right where I remembered it, about 10 feet in front of Dad's. What a way to learn a company. Every day when Dad opened the mail, every phone call, every meeting, Joe was there. Joe was there, listening to Dad. Started moving up the ladder a little bit. He was really excited on one occasion because Dad said, Joe, you're going to be the after-hours emergency caller. I mean, if there's a breakdown, if there's a, something goes wrong on the road, I mean, you're going to be, and Joe was so fired up. This is, man, I'm moving up. This is great. Till the phone started ringing like 3 o'clock in the morning because something broke down. Grandpa was not a fool. He said, Joe's ready. I'm going to let him deal with this nonsense. So they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. As soon as I heard from Mr. Morrison and Tom Barella, I had this great honor to introduce Joe, and I do know him and I know his office. I said, I want to share this picture of Joe Corolla. If you could bring the photo up. This is Joe at his office 2 weeks ago. So first, an obvious observation. Yes, his computer keyboard truly is that dirty. If you look closely, hasn't seen a dust cloth in years. Every day, Joe's grandpa's portrait's over his right shoulder and his father's portrait's over his left shoulder. There's so many endeavors and people we know in life that all the credit is me. It's all me. It all started with me. Joe is the exact opposite. Photo speaks 1,000 words about Joe Corolla. It speaks of loyalty. It speaks of legacy. It speaks of responsibility. Think if you had Dad and Grandpa looking over your shoulder every day. That would be intimidating to me. In fact, Joe said there's some days he turns and he talks to Dad. A few weeks ago when I met Joe, as you know, he's a pretty low-key guy. We had lunch, and the time he started getting fired up and excited is when he talked about his children, the 4th generation. He talked about Joe Jr., Maggie, Jacob, Jeremy, all working at PI&I Motor Express. And Joe was so fired up. They have new ideas. They're innovative. They have energy. The handoff for the 3rd time in the Corolla family has started. It started. Now, if I spun around with my camera and took a picture of the rest of the office, Pam, as Pam describes Joe's office as a cluttered mess, and she's right. There's these shelves, and Joe's walking me over and showing me all this random, there's a golf putter that doesn't belong with any other golf equipment, and an old vintage photo, and a Jim Tressel bobblehead, and I was trying to be nice. I'm like, who would buy all this stuff? And then it dawned on me. I said, Joe, you and Pam have acquired all this at charity auctions, haven't you? And he said, yes, we have. We want to support the community. We go to these events, many of them. And when you have a heart of gold and you go to a lot of charity events, you end up with an office full of just random stuff, like Joe's office. One of the most special things at their office on both levels is this artwork, very professionally framed, and it's clearly children's artwork. It's artwork of special needs students. And Joe and Pam went to that event, and they bought out the whole lot, and they brought it home and had it all framed, and it's displayed throughout their offices at PI&I. We are so lucky that Joe and Pam call YSU their home university. They have 2 endowed scholarships, one at the Williamson College in Joe's father's name, the other for a student athlete. Most recently, they supported the Dana School of Music. It's the Inner City Schools Violin Program, where our students go out and teach violin in the inner cities. They've made major gifts to the Nunziato Student Veterans Center. Most recently, they made a very generous gift to the James P. Tressel Institute for Leadership and Teamwork. They've been longtime supporters of our athletic program, Coach Phillips' Huddle program, the Courtside Coaches Club, so many of these Penguin Club events, such as this one and our Scholarship Loge program. Maybe most special is 2 years ago, the governor appointed Joe to the YSU Board of Trustees. And all that knowledge and wisdom that was gained from great-grandpa and grandpa, and now Joe Corolla in running PI&I Motor Express, we are so fortunate to have at the table to help lead our university. And he gives so much time as a trustee at YSU. It is my honor to call to the podium the recipient of the 2022 YSU Penguin Club Penguin of the Year, Mr. Joe Corolla.
Kind of hard to follow all of that. Paul, thank you. I did have something written, but as my daughter said, I won't go off. I don't stay with the script. I am very, truly, this is a great honor, and honestly, as maybe some of my friends know, they may agree or disagree, but I am humbled by this. It is very nice, and I do appreciate it. A lot of this started in the giving and trying to support the program was my father, who felt education. You had to have education. People needed to continue their education. That's how you're going to grow, prosper, get better. And hey, the noise up front's my grandkids. So, which without family, we have nothing. So, I'm very blessed that they're all here tonight. But to give the education and to be able to help that, we've been very blessed, been very successful. The support of my wife, my family, my friends, coworkers that are here that have made it very easy for me to take time to do other things and hopefully help the university, help the area. I've been very blessed with that. And the sports part of it, teamwork. I think that was brought up here with the two student athletes, and what a great job both of them did. To please give them another round. Just tremendous, and that's what this is about. And as we talked about 500 student athletes, and they talk about their grades, understanding those grades as a group, those athletes' grades are better than this general population, which I think is a tribute to them. When not only are they going to school full-time, they have a full-time job in playing their sport to excel the way they have, as you've heard tonight with all the championships that they've done. We're very fortunate to have those type people. But again, with my wife, who's somehow stuck with me for 41 years, my 4 kids, my grandkids, that's what this is about, and it is humbling. And to be with all of you, because as the Penguin family, I really appreciate this. And I think that's where this group knows it, but we have to spread it around. We need the support. These students need the support that we're giving them in this university to excel in the classroom, excel on the sports field, and as Rick Freida said, and then they excel in the business world. They learn the teamwork. They learn competition. And it keeps us all moving forward. And I think I learned some of that in the years I was here. Part of it. I learned the most from my father, and I hope, Paul says it nice, but I hope I'm giving some of that to my children. That would be the greatest thing, and it is. It is wonderful to have them there with us, moving PI&I forward. hopefully for a long time. But again, a lot of other things where I've had opportunities. I could say Dave Dybel when, he said, why don't you apply for the board? And I said, well, I don't know about the time. And he goes, well, it's only 4 meetings a year, don't worry. Well, it's 2 days. I know I'm not supposed to say the whole thing here, President Tressel, but it's 2 full days and committees and other things. And then you get hooked. With President Tressel there, you get hooked. He kind of pulls you in with his leadership and the calmness and being close enough to see how he handles people. And through the adversity we've had with the COVID and other things at the university, how level he has just kept everything has been tremendous. And so for the last 8 years we've been fortunate, and hopefully with President Tressel and with Ellen and their support, we have you for a few more years. That would be a great thing. Hopefully we have them. Not sure he liked that either, but I got the mic, so not a lot he can do about it. Maybe later he will, but not right now. But no, I just am very happy to do this. I don't want to run on. Coach Gorby, wow, I could never talk that fast or remember that many names. That was just wow. I was sitting there, I couldn't take notes that fast. So, but there are just so many people, and again, to thank, and it's in the groups. It is my friends that are here, as I say, coworkers, most of all my family, the foundation my parents gave me to do this. I think Colt mentioned that. Everybody mentioned that because it is family, and it's family, and the Penguins are a family, and students like this and everybody here is what makes you Hawaiian proud, which is on the billboard, but it's true. We have to do that. And everything you can do to help support the university and the student athletes. This is about student athletes a little bit more tonight, but it's everybody here. It rounds people out. It makes it better. And then the ETC that's there, college and all that isn't for everybody. Not to say that up here as YSU, but you have to have the trade schools and things like that. And then I think the vision of President Tressel's with the ETC is giving people chances to get credentials and things that maybe I don't have a 4-year degree, but they're going to learn, and we have to continue to learn. So it's all those things I think are very, very positive we're doing. So not to, again, bore everybody, which I ramble as my wife tells me to, besides my cluttered office and everything else that I have. And she did buy some of those things that clutter that office, just so people know. It isn't just stuff I accumulated. She had some of it. Now, I'm going to pay for that, too, later, with no doubt. But really, just thank you to the Penguin Club and to YSU for this honor. Hopefully, I do a good job representing the Penguins. That's what we try to do. I appreciate it. Again, stay Hawaiian proud, go Gwins. And I know from listening to me, and everybody else was pretty good. I'm not sure about me. But that bar is open. So if anybody wants to continue to relax and have some time, it will be open. Again, I thank you all very much. And really, dig deep. Help the Penguins out. Time, talent, treasures, as Father O'Neill used to say at St. Pat's. There's always ways we can help. And the more we can help, the better this university is going to be, and the better the valley is going to be, because this university is the valley. It has to lead the valley. It is leading the valley with President Tressel, with the education, everything it's doing, bringing them together, whether it's helping the inner city music. It's just the university is doing this, the additive manufacturing, all the things that are being done there, the honors college. I mean, it's the positive things. They're moving forward. Get involved if you can. If you can't, give the money. I guess I'm not supposed to be doing the money thing, but what the heck? I got to do, and now I'm rambling. So, to cut that short, as my daughter agrees. But thank you very much. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Get to wear one of these. Wear that proudly.
What's that? He can wear that? Yeah, more stuff for the office. Nice job. Congratulations, Joe. Well deserved. Very well deserved. You know, before we cut you loose here tonight, just a reminder about where our student athletes are headed this weekend. The men's and women's basketball teams wrap up the regular season this weekend. The guys are trying to finish among the top 4 in the league with games on Thursday at Wright State, Saturday at Northern Kentucky. The women's basketball team has already clinched at least a share of the Horizon League's regular season championship. They will go for the outright title this weekend with games at IUPUI on Thursday and then Saturday at UIC. Tomorrow, the women's lacrosse team, actually today, they're at Central Michigan. Then they're home this weekend. The women's lacrosse team will play host to Niagara on Sunday, 2 p.m. at Farmers National Bank Field. The baseball team is in Nashville this weekend to play Belmont in a 4-game series. The women's bowling team is at the Big Red Invitational in Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. Women's tennis is competing at Ball State this Sunday. Men's golf is at the Orlando Invitational hosted by Oakland on Monday and Tuesday. Those two same days, the women's golf team is at Rivertown Invitational hosted by Charleston Southern in South Carolina. So it's a very busy time. We hope that you enjoyed tonight. We want to thank you for all of your support of Youngstown State Athletics. Again, please drive safely. Enjoy the evening.